Hello and welcome back to Boxing Social in association with Betfred. My name is Ayman and I'm here today with the one and only the problem, Michael McKinson, as we rapidly approach his fight date with Virgil Ortiz Jr. on August 6th. First of all, Mikey, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad at all. A lot better in this room. It's not as hot as it was a few days ago, excuse me, but not too bad and even more better for speaking to you, Michael.
Nice one. Yeah, obviously we're in the closing stages of camp now, so all that's on my mind's food and what I'm going to eat after. But no, we're getting it done. I've worked very hard over the last couple of months, and I'm excited to get there now.
Like, let's just keep on that train there. What do you miss? You're talking about food. What do you miss in camp?
I'm a big bread lover. I'm a big bread lover, and it's simple things that I miss, like toast and stuff like that. I haven't really got a sweet tooth. So yeah, if I could, it would be toast.
Well,
or just bread in general.
You'll be looking to get those treats and things after the fight, after August 6th. So just take me into your camp then. So I've seen that you've been doing a lot of sparring Troy Williamson specifically. Troy on paper seems about as good sparring as you could get to kind of reflect the type of fight that Virgil Ortiz brings into the ring. So that must have been really good sparring for yourself.
It was great. It was actually amazing sparring. Worth the 6-hour trip up north. Troy's a very big, very physical guy. So yeah, it was just what I needed. Like I said, I can't complain with the preparations and stuff. Every boxer will say that I've had the best camp I've ever had. Every boxer says that. But I really have. I'm a different kind of athlete than what I was 5 months ago, however long my last fight was. So yeah, I'm looking forward to showing the world my development and like how much I've improved.
Take me back to when Virgil Ortiz originally pulled out. There was a lot of talk about kind of him pulling out and what the reasons were. He obviously cited an illness that was paid to why he pulled out. But in those moments when he pulled out and after the weeks after you had the fight done, did you think the fight would get rescheduled? Do you think he would continue at welterweight?
Honestly, no. But nobody really knows how bad it is and why he got rhabdomyosis and stuff, except from him and his people close to him. But I was actually over in California doing my state medical, and I came out for my MRI scan, and I had my manager Lee on the phone. He was in Dubai actually, and he told me, and it was just like letting a balloon down. I thought, like, this, from where I've come from and my rise, the opportunity is huge. Who knows? I might not have never got an opportunity like it again. So yeah, it was a really, really tough week. But I wished him all the best in his recovery, and he's recovered and he's still fighting at 147. And then there was talks of him fighting Avanesian, and I thought, oh wow, like, where's my chance gone? Like, I prepared for 4 months to fight him. I travelled to America. I was there. I turned up. I still fought and got the job done. So yeah, but like, props to Golden Boy. Obviously, they couldn't meet a deal with Avanesian, and they offered it straight to me. I'm easy to negotiate with, and like, big thank you to Golden Boy for giving me the opportunity again. Like, I do deserve it. So yeah, I appreciate the opportunity, and I can't wait to go out there and prove a lot of people wrong.
I was about to say that you kind of answered it from your half. You sent a message out to him after when he had the illness. Did he send anything back to yourself? Obviously, he was dealing with an illness then, but did he message you after the fact?
Yeah, I think I put a tweet out. I couldn't really dwell on Virgil Ortiz after that. The week, there was a lot happening that week in fight week. Opponents here, opponents there. But I wished him well in recovery, because at the time he was 23 years old. And nobody knew if it was serious or not. So Health is important, and he's a respectful young guy. He's very respectful. He tweeted me back and stuff like that. So yeah, that's the only contact I had with him. I'm sure he watched the fight when I've still fought out in the States and stuff. But yeah, I look forward to coming face to face with him in, what was it, next week, the week after.
Because of the issues last time out, Michael, is it potentially in the back of your head that something like this could happen again?
I think there's a lot of pressure on him to make 147 and fight me now. There's a lot of pressure because there were lots of rumours, there was lots of questions if he'd fight at 147 again. So he came out and said, I'm still fighting at 147. And he's rescheduled a fight with me. So he kind of has to. So I'm not really, of course, it's in the back of my head. Is there a replacement opponent on standby? But I don't think he will pull out this time. I'm sure his camp's gone very well. And yeah, like I said, there's a lot of pressure on him to weigh in at 147 and fight me.
As Vergil Ortiz as a fighter, which one aspect of his game do you highlight and say this is about him, and you say this is a big danger for me? Forget the power, which is what he has. A lot of people, I imagine that will be the top thing, but I want to kind of go further than that. What's the kind of one thing that you look out for that you say this is what I've got to avoid?
There's a lot. Like Vergil Ortiz is a lot better than anyone I've ever been in the ring with, I've ever fought. I'm stepping up levels. Other than his power, his size, that's a big factor for him. In past fights, he's got vicious body shots. And obviously it comes down to his power and his size. But for the difference is there's a huge difference in who he's fought before. He's fought good names, Kowalskis, Maurice Hooker, but they've all tried doing the same thing to him. I'm a different kind of fighter than all of these guys. And, you know, I think the main thing is I've got something different than everyone he's fought before. I've got my zero. He's never fought anybody with a zero. Everybody that he's fought has tasted defeat at least once in their career, so they know what it's like to lose. I don't. And I don't plan on travelling to the other side of the world to give up my own at all.
You as well, Mike, I noticed about you in watching some of your previous fights. So you have an ability as well to be able to get fighters down on the canvas, offset fighters from their balance, to catch them coming in and send them hurtling to the canvas. So whilst that's a mix of knowledge of the ring and then you throw in a punch with enough power to get them down, is there that side of you that's being overlooked, that ability to get fighters to hit the canvas too? That's
a good shout. There's a lot more to my ability than being that awkward southpaw. I've got a very good ring IQ. I'm a very smart fighter. I've got a good boxing brain, and that gets overlooked a little bit. There's so much more to my ability than being an awkward southpaw. I'm smart by doing it. I'm an awkward southpaw, but I'm a smart awkward southpaw, you know. So yeah, I think if you look back, I've probably scored about, or I haven't stopped many people, but I've scored a lot of knockdowns. If you like research and look me up and out, I've scored a lot of knockdowns in my career, and you know, if they touch the floor, it's a 10-8 round.
Saying that, then tell me, how does a fight between yourself and Vergil play out in your mind when a lot of fighters, they do a lot of visualization with these fights that are coming up when they have big events? How do you visualize the fight playing out?
Yeah, a lot of fighters visualize, and I've had this whole year, like in the last 12 months, I've had 6 months worth of visualizing how me and Ortiz, because I prepared for 4 months before, 2 months this time. So, you know, there's a lot. I'm a 7-1 underdog. A lot of people are expecting Vergil Ortiz to walk through me, and if like it won't last any more than 5 rounds, a lot of people I'm seeing. So when I'm still there and he's got the whispers in his head, like whispers in his ear like, I should have got him out of there then, like by now. And then it gets to round 8, 9 and the championship rounds, and he's never been to the championship rounds. He's never gone past 8, is it? So all of that could play in his head, and I'm very good at frustrating people in the ring and mentally as well. So yeah, I plan on being the best version of Michael McKinson there ever has been, because I need to be. You know, you're going to see, like, people haven't seen a lot of my ability in my last 3 fights, because Congo, I dropped him early and bullied him. Ranowski, Premsville Ranowski, after 1 round, he was put in a shower for the whole fight. And then Alex Martin was a negative southpaw. People know I'm not a come forward fighter. I'm not an aggressive type fighter, but I have been for a long time. I've had to be that kind of fighter on the front foot because of my opponents. So people can see the best version of me, how I'm good and how I box well. So it's exciting. I know I am capable of pulling it off. I know I am. I also know it's going to be a very hard fight, and I'm going to be dragged to places I've never been before. But so is he.
Michael, I remember, if we rewind back to pandemic period and you had a fight lined up with Chris Congo, and we were doing Zooms back then like we are doing now, but we were doing Zooms back then. I remember you saying on the Zoom to me, you were like, you know, my time is now. I've had this time, you know, under the radar, not getting the spotlight, and you were going to capitalize on the spotlight that you were getting at Fight Camp, and you did do that. Now, with a win over Virgil Ortiz Jr. on August 6th, would you feel that, and boxing fans will have to feel that you've got that win, you have the best win over any current crop of welterweights, and you should be getting that spotlight from that point onwards?
Yeah, like, even since beating Congo, I don't think I'll get as much respect as what I should. Really. By some people I do, but I don't get a lot of credit. Like, I've not really put a foot wrong in my career, and I've took fights as the B-side plenty of times, proved people wrong. I've took fights as the underdog plenty of times, proved people wrong. And I've come up the hard way from the very bottom. Like, I never earned any money for the first couple of years of my career. Like, my first 10 pro fights, I earned 0. Do you know what I mean? So I've come from different places than most of these pros you see on the TV, you know? So I've done it the hard way. And yeah, I will get my credit. Like, beating Ortiz, I'm an overnight superstar. I can maybe call some shots in my career after that, you know, because I've never had the luxury of picking who I want to fight and stuff like that. You set the Congo fight, I wanted to fight him, I got it. And then I've been blessed with getting such a big opportunity against Ortiz as well. Other than that, in my career, I haven't, like, do you know what I mean? I haven't really had the option. So after I take care of business, become an overnight superstar, then obviously my career will be how I want it to be.
With your rise, do you feel that there are enough fighters doing it that way, doing it the hard way, and should they be doing it that way? Because there are a lot of people that unfortunately get handed things, which is fair enough. If they can get it, then great, that's good for them. But does that road kind of suit you better in your career in the long term?
Yeah, because I want it more than everyone else, because I've seen the very bottom. Like when you're struggling and you're going around last minute trying to shift tickets to be able to fight, not get paid, to be able to fight, sell enough tickets to be able to fight and stuff like that. So my rise has been more sweet than most others, but I'm here now. Like, I'm here now. I'm a genuine good fighter. I get to prove on August 6th I'm a world-class fighter. And then, you know, beating Ortiz, my life changes. My kids' lives change. My grandkids' lives change, you know. So this is huge for me. We know it's going to be hard, but if anyone can do it mentally, nobody's stronger than me. So I've got that mental strength. And on August 6th, I'll show everyone I've got that heart as well. Yeah, we're coming to the closing stages, and it's getting hard. This camp has been hard, but we're happy. We're smiling. We can't wait to get there and show the world what we're about.
I can see the big smile on your face. You're there for the fight. Something else that must have put a big smile on your face is the big GK Tyson Fury backing you as well, giving you his support as you approach the fight too.
Yeah, it was when I was up sparring. Troy was up in the northeast, and he was doing like an evening with Fury and stuff, and we got invited down, and he knew who I was, and he's watched a few of my fights, and he gave me some tips, he gave me some advice, and even just the night of meeting him and seeing his story and his motivation in itself, I've had a great camp. I've got great people around me. I'm just a product of a great team. There's loads of people in my team that don't get a lot of praise, but we're all together. And this fight's not just for me, it's for everyone around me. So it's been a long, hard journey. It has been a long, hard journey.
I saw a clip of you in a podcast mentioning about kind of Benn mentioning you, saying that there's no one really to think about in the welterweight division over here. You and him are the leading lights of the division domestically. The pair of you, do you reckon you'll ever meet down the line?
I see. He said in an interview, us two are the only 147 fighters in the UK that got a good chance of winning a world title, or got the best chance of fighting for one, something like that. And he said he'd only fight me if it was for a world title. It was something along them lines. So they're all talking about me now. It really is just me and him, and then the rest are behind us. If he gets the fight with Eubank, that's him gone up. It just leaves me. But even so, I'll go out and beat Ortiz. I'm not going to be looking at domestic scene. I'm going to be looking at world scene.
Michael, who do you think gets the world title opportunity first, you or Benn?
I'm closest, really, isn't I? Mm-hmm. Beating Ortiz, who's number one for the WBO and WBC, am I right? Mm-hmm. That's only going to benefit me. But my name's not Conor Benn. So who knows? Who knows? But I know I'm doing my thing. I'm on my path, and all respect to him. He's doing his thing, and who knows what the future holds. But right now, the only person on my mind is Virgil Ortiz, and he's been really the only person on my mind since last November when I first got the opportunity. So yeah, we do another one of these in a couple of weeks after the Texas trip, and then we can talk.
Michael, I just want to get your thoughts. Just sticking on Benn, a lot of rumours about a fight with Chris Eubank Jr. Very interesting about catchweight being talked about. Give me your thoughts on that fight and if it gets made.
I think it's great as a fan, for the boxing public, for their legacy, their name, their family name. It's a great fight. Obviously, with the catchweight, I believe it comes into Conor's advantage. If there is a rehydration clause on, I did see something about trying to make a rehydration clause. That also comes into Conor's advantage as well, which really evens the fight out a little bit, because Eubank's a very athletic guy at 160. Coming down that extra 4 pounds will be tough, and with no full rehydration as well. Who knows what can happen, but sit back as a fan, because it's an amazing fight, and it's a fight that everybody will be engaged to watch.
When Andy last spoke to you for Boxing Social, you kind of mentioned that you'd like to see Conor in with someone who's younger and fresher, so there could be like no doubts about from the fans about him, just to paraphrase your words. Is Eubank Jr. the right fight in your eyes, or are you a bit confused by that potentially?
Yeah, like when I said that, like somebody maybe in their 20s or something like that that's got that fire and stuff that will pose Conor a threat. But the Eubank fight is the fight everyone would be like fair play, because he's fighting a guy naturally bigger, a lot bigger, and is like he's Conor won't be the big favourite in the fight. I don't believe. So it was. I was waiting for a fight where he wasn't a dead cert, because not me personally, but he does get a lot of stick about his opponents and stuff by the boxing fans, not the casuals, but it's when he's in a fight where people don't necessarily think it's going to be a dead cert. That's when I think he'll get a lot of credit and a lot of respect, and I think he will for the Eubank fight. Loads of it.
A potential fight between you and Conor Benn down the line for a world title, for whatever it is, would be massive, especially in this country. But that is most biggest if both of you have your O's still intact. Do you believe that Conor Benn comes out of the Eubank fight with his O still intact?
I think he's got more advantages in the fight than Eubank has, because, like I said, the catch weight and the rehydration, if that happens. I'm not sure the ins and the outs of negotiations, but like I think that gives him the edge, and like personally, but who knows? I'll sit on the fence for that. I'll sit on the fence because Eubank is a big guy. He's a very big guy compared to Benn, but I don't know if he'll be the same Eubank at 156 pounds. So I would favour. I'll be rooting for Benn in that fight. Actually, I'll be rooting for him.
Does a weight jump like that, and a potential fight in that sort of weight category or catch weight, appeal to you?
Depends if the zeros are right. You know, I've got a lot to do at welterweight. I believe I've only just broke onto the scene in the last 18 months. So there's some big fights at welterweight. Is there at 154? I'm not sure. But I've had no plans on moving up anytime soon. Not anytime soon, unless the right fight's offered.
I get a couple of predictions or thoughts from you before I let you go, Michael. Yep. First of all, a lot of talk about the rematch Usyk AJ2 and what Anthony Joshua has to do to get the win. Your thoughts on that fight?
I think Anthony Joshua's got a lot more to do than he did in the first fight. He needs to change a lot, which obviously he's moved trainers. He's got a new team around him and stuff like that. Like, do I think he can be 3-time heavyweight champion of the world? 100%. 100%. But he needs to bring something a whole lot different, because if he don't, it will be the same result. It will be the same result. But he seems confident. He seems with the new team around him and stuff. So it's only going to benefit him. And yeah, I think he can pull it off. It'll take something, like I said, a lot different, but I think he can.
We talked about rumours about a potential Benn and Eubank Jr. fight. There are rumours that an undisputed Errol Spence Jr. Terence Crawford fight is going to be announced very, very soon. Michael, you'll be having your eye keenly on that fight there. First of all, you must hope that fight happens.
100%. Everyone in boxing hopes. That's the fight that most people want to happen. And you're going to ask me, who do I think? I'll flip a coin. I think I would rate Crawford over Spence as pound for pound. But that is a true fight which I would happily sit on the fence, sit back, watch it, and whoever wins, like, fair play to him. But I would say, if I'm ranking them now, Crawford I'd rank over Spence.
You know, when you make that ranking in your mind about ranking Crawford over Spence, is that purely over the resume, or is there any thought of yourself when it comes to looking at Errol Spence and the car crash that he suffered out the ring that maybe you think he's a different fighter here?
I think his comeback's been great. I don't think he's a different fighter from it, which is like mad. But I just think Crawford, his resume, 3-time free weight world champion, and what he does with people, and he makes it look easy. So I would just rank him as number one, if not number one, pound for pound out of all weight classes.
Michael, I'll leave the final word with you. For people who are doubting you on August 6th that you can get the win, for people who are heavily betting against you as they have done before in fights previously, what would you like to say to the people as you approach your fight with Vergil Ortiz?
I've been doubted many times and I've proved people wrong many times. That doesn't bother me. Like, Vergil Ortiz is a great young fighter with a great record. Great knockout record, but knockout streaks always come to an end. And I've got the style and the mentality to stop that knockout streak 100%.
Michael, it's been a pleasure speaking to you. Thank you so much for giving me your time. Thank you for speaking to Box Social. I wish you all the best on August 6th. We'll catch up very soon.
Brilliant.